On top of breaking news this afternoon in Winston-Salem, chaos and confusion on Forsyth Tech's main campus today. An initial report of an active shooter transitioned into a shooting investigation, and it ended with one person with a gunshot wound.
That person is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Winston-Salem police have not shared how the incident unfolded. Police haven't arrested anyone involved. The campus is clear and the lockdown is lifted. Parents reunited with their children a few hours after the campus went on lockdown. An emotional day for families across the Triad. We do have team coverage tonight covering all angles of this investigation. We begin with WFOY News 2's Ben Briscoe.
Right now, the police officer that was guarding this intersection outside the school is gone. Traffic is open again around the school, but the campus itself is actually closed at this moment, according to Forsyth Tech. If you take a look over at the parking lot, that might seem like a couple of cars still there, but really it's totally different than it was earlier today. The only people we've seen walking through so far have been investigators who are trying to work on the case, including DPS and a canine dog. Those students, the first students we've actually seen go through that parking lot since a couple of hours ago. Now, this all started around 10 o'clock this morning when police say they got a call of shots fired on campus. The school sent out an alert telling students to shelter in place. Police stressed at a news conference a short time ago there was never an active shooter situation, but more of a shooting on campus.
Not an active shooter situation on this campus. We did identify one victim that was transported to a local facility for treatment of a non-life-threatening injury.
So more about that victim now. A student who was in the building where this all started at the time, according to police, told me that they heard someone accidentally shot themselves in the hand. We've also been told that by a couple of other sources out here on the scene, but that has not been confirmed by police. We are expected to learn more at a news conference coming up at 5 o'clock.
Thank you for this update. We have heard from a student who was in the classroom when the school put everything on lockdown. He shared this video with us. In it, you can see tables used as barricades and students hiding behind them. He told us they just wanted to do whatever they could to stay safe.
We had thrown up the shelving, or the organizer shelf. We threw the tables in front of it, and I mean, one idea, my teacher and I had an idea of throwing up the tables so that, and push ourselves away from the door and that wall that leads to that door, so that if any instances a shooter does come and try to shoot the wall or come up to shoot the door, we're barricaded.
Terrifying. He says it's heartbreaking that people need to worry about their safety in the classroom.
Some Triad high school districts had high school students on Forsyth Tech's campus when the school went on lockdown. District leaders from Winston-Salem, Forsyth, and Stokes County schools told us some of their high school students were on field trips there. Both districts says that students have since returned to their campuses once the all clear was given.
Families waited for hours today, waiting to get the okay that their loved ones were safe inside the school. WFOY News 2's Amber Lake is out talking with parents and students about this scary situation today. Amber, what are folks telling you?
Right, Lauren. So Winston-Salem police first off did confirm that one person was shot here on Forsyth Tech's campus today. Now they did say that the person shot was not a Winston-Salem Forsyth County student. Now students on campus today told me that they received the text at 10:15 saying there was a report of shots fired and for students to shelter in place. Not even 15 minutes later, another text saying there were two armed and dangerous black male suspects, are still at large wearing gray and black hoodies. Abby Nixon is a nursing student here at Forsyth Tech. She said she was in class when the text came through, prompting her professor to lock the doors and turn off the lights. She said she immediately panicked until they got word that their building was cleared.
I think it's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of unknown. But now that we've gotten updates and we've been told that the building's clear, it's a sigh of relief. A lot of parents, there's a lot of parents in our class with kids, and their anxiety was really high about getting back home to their kids and everything.
Now, thankfully, those students that we talked to, as well as others on campus today, were able to make it out safe after their buildings were cleared.
Amber, thank you. Many parents got the phone call today they've thought about, hoping that they would never get. WFMY News 2's Hannah Jeffries met a parent and child who reunited after they got the all clear.
Chad, it really was a beautiful moment to just see the moment when a mother embraced her daughter after an extremely emotional morning. Thursday afternoon, Stacy Peel reunited with her daughter Michaela. A sense of relief took over once mother and daughter linked up. Peel's daughter, who was on lockdown following a shooting investigation at Forsyth Tech.
Definitely relief. It's definitely relief. Just a slew of emotions, I guess, but just seeing her, I'm just really wanting to get out of here now.
Peel says she just dropped her daughter off at school when she got a text that there had been a shooting.
I went to class and I put my book bag down, and then I went outside to talk to some of my friends, and then I heard some people saying that there were shots fired at a building over there, and so we went upstairs to different rooms, and we had to be relocated a couple times, and then we just stayed in a room for 2 hours.
During the hours-long lockdown, Michaela says she stayed in touch with her mom.
She seemed calm at first. She was probably calmer than me, but she just said that there was a shooting and she was on lockdown. And then she said there was still 2 shooters, and I told her I was on my way, and she said, please don't come, I'm scared for you.
That's the information that went out to students and staff Thursday morning, prompting anyone on campus to shelter in place. Once families were allowed on campus, many quickly reunited with loved ones. Many left still in shock, eager to get back to the comfort of their own homes.
It's happened a lot of times, and just kind of don't really expect it to happen to you, I guess.
Now, officials have confirmed all Winston-Salem Forsyth County students were safe and returned to their respective schools. Again, we have learned that one person was injured and taken to the hospital. We do not know if that person was a staff member, a student, or a professor even at Forsyth Tech, and we are waiting on that information. Again, we have a press conference at 5 o'clock. For now, live in Forsyth County, I'm Hannah Jeffries, WFMY News 2.
Hannah, thank you. At this point, there are still a lot of questions. We do know Forsyth Tech went on lockdown this morning for a shooting investigation.
The campus is now clear and the lockdown is lifted. The Winston-Salem Police Department says there was never an active shooter threat to the campus. One person who had a gunshot wound went to the hospital with minor injuries. Again, right now it is not clear whether they were a student.
At the time, some triad school districts had high schoolers on campus for a field trip. The districts say students returned to their respective schools. We're expecting to learn a lot more during a news conference coming up at 5, and I really hope they're able to give a little bit of perspective to this situation, especially if, we heard Ben talk about the person that we spoke with who said that they thought that a student possibly had shot themselves in the hand. That is a much different scenario than if someone shot someone else on campus.
Absolutely. A lot of questions surrounding that, so hopefully we'll get more information at this presser at 5 o'clock. But what a scary day. I mean, just considering what happened down in Nashville on Monday, a lot of people on high alert, and it's just it could happen anywhere. But I'm just really glad to see law enforcement was really clear with their alerts to the students. They were able to shelter in place, and no one was, no life injuries to anyone. When Amber Lake was doing that live interview with a couple of students who were sheltering in place, it just was so sad that they said, it is what it is. Yeah. This is what we deal with. This is our reality now. But again, we're just glad that there was no fatalities in this situation.
We'll be right back.